All right, we got 30-minute zone 2 run today. We just pounded back some protein pancakes about 2 hours ago, so those settled now. Ate a bunch of clementines on the way over here because they're delicious and I love them. I've got a goo ready to go, probably unnecessary because it's only a 30-minute run, but I'm gonna take one anyway. We've got a heavy chest session after that, followed by a tempo cycling session, which should be fun. So about 2.5 hours of total training today. Energy levels are through the roof. I'm fired up. It is pouring outside, but it's warm, so I don't care. And I'm excited to run outside. That's all I got. Fired up, let's go. All right, so halfway through, about 15 minutes in. These shoes feel really good. They have a little bit more roll on the inside end than I'd like to have, but all in all, I think once they're broken in a bit more, they'll support my feet well. I think it's a very common mistake when people first get into the sport is they'll just go to the nearest shoe store and buy the flashiest, most expensive shoe, the one that all these athletes are saying, oh, that's the best shoe, you gotta buy this. But most often, that'll end up just hurting them because everybody's feet is different. Everybody lands on their feet differently. And so you need to find a shoe that suits you. So the first thing to look into when you're getting into running, I mean, all athletes will use these, but the first shoe you should buy is what is called a daily trainer. So these shoes are basically just your work mule, right? They can go forever. They have tons of stability. They're comfortable, and you can just you can do anything in them. You can do gym training, you can jog, you can run. And when looking at those, there's a few things to consider. The first thing will be the size of the shoe. So you want to make sure that you've got enough room in the shoe so that when your feet start to swell and when they pancake on the ground, that they've got room to not move, but they're not so compressed that it's going to cause cramps in your feet, right? The next thing is to look at what happens when your foot lands. So when your foot lands, a few things can happen. Your foot can internally roll a little bit, it can internally roll a lot, or it can externally roll. The only one you really need to be concerned about is if your foot is internally rolling a lot. And so if that's happening to you, you're gonna most likely feel some soreness on the inside of your shin. Look into something called a stability shoe. And it will say that right on the website too. When you're buying a running shoe, it'll say daily trainer stability. And so another thing you want to look at is different companies' return policies, because even if it is a stability shoe, it might not be the right fit for you if it's a little bit too wide or a little bit too narrow. So you want to find a company that has a return policy that allows you, most of them are within 30 days. Some shoes you can return whenever if they don't work for you. But having that return policy so you can return them and try another pair is really important, especially if you don't have a running shoe store near your home. And if you have the money for it, you could even buy a number of pairs, try them all out, and return the ones that you don't want. But that's my hot take on intro to running shoes. Obviously, when you get more advanced, you start looking into tempo shoes and race shoes, which are a lot less comfortable, but they're a lot firmer, a lot more fitted and structured, and they allow you to run faster. But it's not something you want to train in daily, otherwise your feet will get destroyed. But let's pound out the other 15 minutes of this run, and we'll see you guys after. All right, we got the zone 2 run done. Got mildly distracted trying to make some videos, but it's fine. My Strava must look hilarious. I'm not sure if I'm posting it public or not. I need to check that, but just these random 15-minute kilometers I'm just turning around in circles trying to make these videos. It may not be the most efficient thing, but especially on a day like today where this is just a zone 2 run, it's a very chill day. It's not even a long zone 2 run. I really should be trying to maintain that for 30 minutes straight, but it is what it is. This is, it gives me a little bit of extra motivation. I'm enjoying making these videos and just documenting this entire process, and I hope I can keep this going for another 16 months. I think it'd be cool to look back on if I can actually do this. But it is what it is. I'm making these videos and it's fun for me. So we got that done. We're gonna pound some pre-workout back, get even more fired up than I already am, because that's probably smart. But I only had one coffee this morning, so it's within my max caffeine intake. So heavy chest session. You're gonna try to get a few videos. Following that, we have a tempo session on the bike, and just putting it out there, I don't have a race tempo yet. I don't know what tempo I want to hit for this race. It's so far away, but I have a goal in mind right now that I would like to try to hit for 3 intervals of 10 minutes. So I'm gonna try to do that, and I'm learning how to do all this. I've never trained at, tried to push myself at this level. These very long endurance sports, the training it's so much different. And I'm a personal trainer, and so I've been training. I've had clients for 2.5 years now. I have a lot of experience myself, so I've worked with a number of coaches over the last 5 years in terms of mostly pertaining to weightlifting and just general health. I have 3 years of a kinesiology degree. This is something that I don't know a lot about. I've never done a triathlon. I've never biked or swam in a competitive setting or in a race setting. So when it comes to training for these, there's a lot of aspects that I understand in terms of trying to structure it. But something like zone running, I somewhat got into that when I did ultra marathons in the past, but I'm gonna be honest, I winged it for the most part. I just ran, and I ran way too hard, and it probably led to me being able to heal so much slower than I could have if I was taking the time to actually build my cardiovascular health, and just trying to run a lot lighter for longer. I would go out and I would just try to run a 5K in 20 minutes, which I couldn't do, by the way. But so half my day is listening to podcasts and reading articles and listening to guys speak about their experience, and professional coaches, professional athletes. But there's so much garbage out there. Everybody has their own opinion. All these big influencers, they're trying to sell you stuff, and it can be really frustrating. But even for me, I feel like I'm pretty good at weeding out the garbage. But even so, I get this guy who can run 100 miles, and he's saying, do this, you'll be able to do that, and it can be really confusing. So my goal with this is to be extremely realistic, and I'm not saying that what I'm doing is going to work for everybody, but I'm just documenting it. I'm not going to say do this. You're never going to hear me say do this, do that. But I will say this is what has worked for me. This is what I understand after talking to my physiotherapist and a number of other real triathlon coaches. So just trying to give the best advice I can, but again, take everything with a grain of salt, because this is all new to me, and I'm learning, and I just want to document that process to share, and hopefully again just be able to look back on that and see how far I've gone. And I'm sure some of the things I've said, even just in the past few videos, my opinion probably will change, and I've probably said some things that are wrong, and that's okay. I'm not saying listen to me and that these things are what you have to do, but is what it is. got the work done. We're done. Now we get to go eat and enjoy the rest of our day. Chest session was awesome. Side benefit of doing all this type of training is I'm dropping body fat, and so the details of my chest are coming back, which is always fun. So definitely have a lot more leading out to look forward to, which is just kind of a side benefit, but I don't intend to ever stop doing weightlifting completely. I want to stay a hybrid athlete, so but yeah, weights were good. Cycling session was also good. I finished off with just a mobility routine, just one of these follow-alongs on YouTube that I've been really enjoying, actually. I'm usually not one for like follow-along videos, but there's one guy on YouTube, not to shout people out, but his name is Tom Merrick, and he has these mobility routine follow-alongs. They're just like 20-25 minutes long, and they're great. I did a lot. I used to do his videos almost daily when I was doing powerlifting, just for my hip mobility, and it helped me a lot. So, suggestion: if you're having trouble with some mobility, just full body, makes you feel loose. It's awesome. I love it. So, might be an option for you. I got the rest of the day to chill, so I'm probably gonna go home. I'm gonna impact the crab. What if I call that? I always say that. But massage gun my entire body and eat a crap ton of food. Reset myself here. We'll be good. That's all I got.